for years, you and I have been lamenting these smaller cities where I think it was you and I in a conference room somewhere talking about Boise, Idaho. Like,
Mm-hmm.
why, right? Because these really great places to live years ago have now suddenly become studying the market. One of the things that you produce for us is I kind of call it but who's really leading the pack? And you can see in both the attached and the detached or the single family homes that the trend is pointing to these cities that we never thought about,
Mm-hmm.
right? When we think of luxury homes, suddenly becoming a place that are, in the triple digits of highest sales ratio. So let's define our terms.
Mm-hmm.
Because we're going to go into a little more data here, but sales ratio is?
The sales ratio is when we look at inventory that is coming into the market every month against the number of sales. So hence the reason why you can see in some markets it's over 100%. So it's like, how is that possible? You shouldn't be able to be over 100%. But when you have less inventory coming in than being sold, it is telling you there is something going on in that market that is fascinating. And
Well, and we had it in the one place that comes to mind, and since we've been producing this report, was always Silicon Valley, right?
yeah,
Where it always had this ridiculously high sales ratio. Homes were launched, blah, blah, blah. But now suddenly, in this month's report, we talk about, in not Silicon Valley, we talk about the East Bay.
mm-hmm.
So that has a sales ratio in single family homes of 423%. Unpack that for us. What does that mean? What's happening?
Means it's very popular, in short.
Popular. Very
very popular. So in reality, East Bay obviously is quite a big area. And the great thing about East Bay is that they do have room to move east.
Yes.
But it over the years and actually pre-COVID, it started to become more popular because it's not as expensive as obviously San Francisco is. It's
Right.
not as expensive as Silicon Valley. So a lot of people are saying, well, I can get more money. I can get more bang for my buck.
Mm-hmm.
And the schools there are great. And there's just something about East Bay. There's lots of pockets of charming. I mean, I get the impression that one time they were probably charming little towns and now they've all kind of merged into one. So the growth has been, and it all comes down to the fact right now that they don't need to be in the city. They don't need to be in Silicon Valley in an office. They can work from home.
Mm-hmm.
And, we haven't touched on the millennials, but they are obviously one of the biggest groups, especially in a place like San Francisco, that is influencing these big numbers because literally 2 years ago, I was reporting that people were moving back to San Francisco because they were redeveloping areas that weren't very good in San Francisco, like docks and stuff, and they were all buying all these condos, etc. Now, what we have, they've left all those condos and they've all gone to the East Bay to have single-family homes. A lot of them have got married because millennials are no longer 20, they're into their 30s, and some of them are close to 40. They're having kids. The whole concept of COVID has changed everybody's mind about, I need a refuge. I need a home that gives me everything. And I am willing to pay to get that because I want my family safe. And I can work from home, so I need more space. So ultimately, it's the same thing that we've been hearing a lot of, but I think using that as an example really shows that it's not just really wealthy people, it's people who've got money that, I think you have a great term for it. What was the term you used there?
Mass affluent.
The mass affluent, that's it. They are the ones who are driving. They're the ones that are in that 23,000 homes that were bought in June. Those are the people that are making these moves because companies are so comfortable now. And why? And they're really comfortable with letting you work from home. It's been proven that a lot of people, and they, are actually more productive. It's being proved they're happier, um, and they can monitor it.
Mhm.
So why spend your life in a small condominium when you can live out in the country and have your own, as we say in England, garden, but you guys call it a yard.